Mr. White invites you to color your world with Brilliant White by JAT.
Hello and welcome to the pre-match chat show on the Sri Lanka and Bangladesh Test Series brought to you by JAT Holdings. It's been a pleasure and it's an honor to bring all these expert comments on the Sri Lanka to us with the help of JAT Holdings. So we have Test cricket back in Sri Lanka, and we have our special expert, special guest from JAT Holdings, and also former Sri Lanka cricket all-rounder Farveez Maharoof, who's also making his Test match debut with commentaries this year. Farveez, all the very best to you regarding the commentaries. We wish to hear from you a lot more during the Test series. But before that, how excited are you that this series is happening after several times Sri Lanka cricket and Bangladesh cricket board tried to play this series, but finally this is happening, and Test match cricket is back once again in Sri Lanka.
Thank you for that, Damith. It's good to be back in the combox. Yeah, I mean it's been a while since this tour has been happening. So finally, glad that finally is off the mark, and two equal teams fighting it out. So it cannot get any better than this, and hopefully we will have a good hard-fought series coming up.
You told that these are two equal teams, but since the start of Test match cricket between these two teams, Sri Lanka have won 16 times, Bangladesh has won only once, and that was the last time they were here in 2017. So the gap has been narrowed between these two teams, and with some of the key players not playing for Bangladesh, do you still think Bangladesh could make a difference here and go away with a win or two?
When I meant by equal teams, we look at the last few years. I think Bangladesh have had their own share of success when it comes to Test cricket, but we've not that far when it comes to consistency. I mean, both teams have been really inconsistent in the last few years when it comes to Test cricket. I think Sri Lanka going into the series will be favourites playing at home, as well as coming back from a decent tour of West Indies where we drew the two Test matches where we played decently well, whereas Bangladesh lost two Test matches in New Zealand. Prior to that, two Test matches they lost in Bangladesh against West Indies itself. So, mentally, I think when it comes to momentum, I think Sri Lankans will be going with a high note. But it's Test cricket again. It's 5 days of tough cricket, so it's anyone's game. So, overall, I will still stick to two equal teams mainly because the inconsistency shown in Test cricket.
Let's talk more about the home team, Sri Lanka. Maha, now, definitely we had, you could say, a satisfactory series against West Indies because the two test matches were drawn. Sometimes we were not doing so well with the bat, but still came back and drew the first test. But now we have some players coming in. Some players are injured. Lasith Ambuldeni, of course, we know he's not part of the squad. He's injured. Dushmantha Chamira, he's not playing because of personal reasons. But we have Angelo Matthews coming in, Lahiru Kumara coming in. Do you think Sri Lanka will go ahead with three-man seam attack?
I think looking at the squad, the preparation, I think it's going to be three men pace attack with seven batsmen, and out of the seven batsmen, you got Danan Silva there who could bowl a bit, and of course we got to play a regular spinner. So that's where the problem comes because Lasith Tambuldenia being our number one spinner, not playing the series, and you got a debutant, I mean potential debutant in Praveen Jayavikrama, as well as Vanidu Hasaranga coming back to the squad after the after the England series, but we lost at home. So I reckon we got a balanced team. We got to play three quicks. I think Pallekelle and the news what we're hearing is they're going to be a little help for the fast bowlers as well. So there's no second thoughts that we should go with three fast bowlers. I think only dilemma would be Angelo Matthews coming in, where he's going to fit in, and the spinning option where Lasith Tambledin is not going to play, and either it's going to be debut captain handed over to Praveen Jayavikrama, or else player where Vanidu Asranga as a main spinner. With Vanidu Asranga, experienced player, but he's also not a frontline spinner when it comes to Test cricket, even in his first class team. He does not play as the number one spinner. So I reckon that will be a big mentally a big ask from a youngster such as him. Whereas Praveen Jayavikram, I know for a fact he hasn't played much first class cricket, but his experience he has shown with his experience, little bit of experience in first class system, the performance he has put in. So that's be a tough call that to make whether to play one in Wasalang as a main spinner or hand over the cap to Praveen Jayavikram. The other thing, when Angelo Matthews is coming in, a batsman has to be opt out. So that's where the other dilemma coming in. Whereas it's not going to be easy because at number three, Osan has been scoring runs. Number five, Dhananjay Silva got to play with his bowling option. We have to play him, as well as Pathum Nisang with the form he played. We got to play him as well. And Dikwala, you need at number seven as a wicketkeeper. So the only mark. So I reckon that's going to be a bit of a tough call, a tricky call to make with Angelo coming in at number four.
Mr. White invites you to color your world with Brilliant White by JAT.
Yes, that's going to be the biggest question for everyone. Will they play Dinesh Chandimal and Angelo Matthews both, or will it be only one senior player in that batting lineup? But the form of Lahiru Thirimanne, especially during that West Indies tour, would really give him a lot of confidence, isn't it, going into this series, especially considering that he's been given a long round. Now he's kind of steady in that opening slot.
I mean, this is Lalit Rimano's series. I mean, we have, as you correctly said, we have invested in him so much. I mean, this is his turn. I mean, lately, I should say, he's been making some big runs, starting from 100 against England in Goal, and the two Test matches in West Indies. He batted brilliantly. So this is where he could really stamp his authority, especially at Pallekelle. I mean, if he sees off the new ball, I think there's runs to be taken because normally in Pallekelle, once a new ball he uses his shine. It's a very good wicket to bat on. So I think if Thiri gets in, he's a kind of a player who could bat long, sound technique. It's possibly his series to perform well and stamp his authority. Whereas other batsmen are in decent form. I know for a fact that all the batsmen leading into the series are in good form. Unfortunately, Dinesh Chandimal is the only one hasn't been in among big runs. So that's where the issue comes when when Angelo is fit and available, he will definitely walk into the test team. So that'll be a tricky call. But overall, that's good for Sri Lanka cricket. Players are fighting for places. Juniors are putting pressure on the senior players. So that's a good healthy rival to have. And when it comes to fast bowling, you got Suranga Lakman and you said Tahir Kumar. He's back. I watched him bowl during the Premier League one day tournament, which he was bowling some deliveries very quick. So I think it's a welcome addition, and it's like to like for Dushman Chamira, who's opted out for personal reasons, as you said. So I reckon overall, the third seamer spot would be a fight between Asita Fernando and Visha Fernando. So that's a call that the selectors and the management should take, looking at all the options. So overall, I think we are in a better place than Bangladesh, better prepared. So hopefully, we can go out there and win the series.
Yes, you correctly said we are better prepared and well balanced. But when it comes to the Bangladesh team, they arrived in Sri Lanka on the 12th. They had to spend a few days in quarantine, then play an intra squad game. They don't have Shakibul Hassan, they don't have Mustafizur Rahman. But the likes of Tamim Iqbal, Mushfiqur Rahim, the captain Mominul Haq, all are very experienced players in the test arena. We have Leighton Das, Mohammad Mithun, new players, Najmul Hassan, Shanto. But do you think they have the firepower, especially in the bowling department, to take 20 wickets and win a test match in Sri Lanka?
I mean, I will never underestimate Bangladesh. I mean, they're a team when they're down, they'll definitely put their hand up and come back. I mean, we have seen that in the past. So if I answer your question whether they are capable of taking 20 wickets, and if I compare the two teams, I reckon Sri Lanka has a better attack to take 20 wickets. But saying that, I wouldn't write off Bangladesh. But overall, I think, as I said, our bowling lineup is more suitable, more capable, I should say, to pick up the 20 wickets. Whereas Bangladesh, maybe they're lacking Shakib Al Hasan. That's a big factor. He's a bowler, he's a batsman, so he's a big miss. So overall, as I said, two evenly matched teams. Sri Lanka slightly ahead. A good series to watch.
Yes, this series is part of the ICC World Test Championship, but wouldn't matter because India and New Zealand have already qualified for the finals. But it's all to play for. Sri Lanka seventh place team in Test rankings, Bangladesh ninth placed, and both teams are wanting to win games. That's the main concern, isn't it, Maha? Finally, if we wrap it up, how much desperate are these two teams to get some wins under their belt?
I think when it comes to Test cricket, it's a pride. I mean, whether we seventh, Bangladesh ninth, or it's the other way around, it may be it's a Test match which we know there's no chance for the two teams to get in the top four or anything. But still, Test match is a Test match. Lot at stake. This is ideal preparation for a longer period of cricket coming up. I mean, if you take Sri Lanka, we got, I think, right throughout the year, we got so much cricket coming up. So this is a good stepping stone to get into a nice rhythm. As I said, we are well prepared. We are a well balanced team. So I reckon if we go out there, play to our potential, play our own brand. I keep saying every time, playing our own brand is very, very important. So if we do that, I think we have a good chance. And overall, it's a must enjoyable series for all of us. I mean, definitely, I know for a fact we only finished England series back home a few months ago, but still cricket in Sri Lanka, still no spectators. That's a bit of a concern, but still, that's a new normal. We got to live with it. But cricket is always welcome in Sri Lanka, and I'm pretty sure the entire Sri Lankan spectators would be closely watching this series with Bangladesh.
Of course, it will be a very interesting and hopefully an enjoyable series. And we have Farveez Maharoof also in the com box to give us those expert comments behind the mic as well as the series goes on. Thank you very much, Farveez, for joining with us, and we wish you all the very best with your commentary stint. And hopefully, we will see Sri Lanka winning the series too. And we will be back with another episode after the first Test match. So, hope to see you again, Farveez.
Thank you, Damith. Thanks for having me. Hopefully, we'll have a good series. Thank you.
Of course, that's it on the first Test match pre game show on the papare.com. We hope Sri Lanka will do well in this upcoming first Test match, which starts on the 21st of April in Pallekelle. So stay tuned on the papare.com, Sri Lanka's number one sports hub, as we bring you everything related to this Test match from Pallekelle. Thank you very much.
Mr. White invites you to color your world with Brilliant White by JAT.
For premium content and exclusive member benefits, subscribe to thepapare.com today.